Satan, the number you are calling is not available. When the gods prepare to strike, they first deafen their prey to all caution. In Agemo Ode, where the past clings like damp earth to the source of the present, such deafness was a prelude to chaos. The Agemo statue, towering at the Itoro roundabout along Folktales Road, was no mere monument. Commissioned 21 years ago, its golden idol gleamed as a testament to the deity's might, a protector, a judge, a spirit woven into the soul of the Agemo people. By day, it watched over the bustling roundabout, where okorders sipped and traders haggled. By night, it stood sentinel, its shadow stretching like a warning. Locals spoke of the Agemo shrine nearby, hidden in a grove of Iroquois trees, where priests whispered to forces older than the town itself. To cross Agemo was to invite ruin, they said. Yet, in April 2025, one man's hubris would dial a number no mortal should call, and the gods would answer with silence, then fury. Jeremiah Nwoke slouched against the chipped counter of Mama Koro's bar, the air thick with palm wine and cigarette smoke. His phone, a cracked relic from his Lagos days, lay beside a half-empty bottle of star beer. At 29, he was a man adrift, back in Agemo Ode after a failed hustle in the city, his dreams of wealth reduced to dust. But tonight, his eyes glinted with something new, a plan. "You're mad, Jeremiah," Ton said, leaning forward, his mechanic's hand stained with grease. "That statue's not just metal. It's Agemo. You touch it, you're done." Jeremiah snorted, swiping at his phone. "Man-made nonsense. Gold's gold, Ton. I heard some Oyinbo collector in Lagos will pay millions for that crown." "Millions? You want me to stay broke forever?" Shade, perched on a stool, rolled her eyes. Her beads clinked as she adjusted her wrapper. "You think Agemo's a joke? That statue's been there since we were kids. People don't even spit near it. And you want to chop its head off." The bar was a dim cocoon of noise, high-life music crackling from a radio, patrons arguing over football. But Jeremiah's voice cut through, sharp and defiant. "It's a statue, Shade. Not a god. You people and your superstitions. I'm not afraid of some carved rock." Ton leaned closer, his voice low. "You weren't here when Mama Femi's son died. He pissed on the shrine's edge, and the next day, boom, struck by lightning. You think that's coincidence?" Jeremiah laughed, but it was forced. He'd heard the stories everyone had. The Agemo statue wasn't just art, it was a conduit, a vessel for a deity whose wrath was as real as the sun. Yet, poverty had a way of dulling fear. He'd overheard a trader at the market, half drunk, boasting about the statue's crown, pure gold, worth a fortune to the right buyer. Jeremiah had latched onto the idea like a drowning man to driftwood. He'd already texted a contact in Lagos, a shady dealer named Razor, who promised a buyer if Jeremiah could deliver. "Listen," Jeremiah said, draining his beer. "I'm doing this. Friday night, when the roundabout's quiet. In and out. You in or not?" Shade crossed her arms. "Not. And you shouldn't be either. Boba Ige says Agemo sees everything. You think you can steal from a god and walk away?" "Boba Ige's a fraud," Jeremiah snapped. "Him and his shrine nonsense. I'm not deaf to reason like you lot." Ton shook his head. "You're the one who's deaf, Jeremiah. And not to reason, to warnings." That night, Jeremiah lay on a stained mattress in a rented room, the air heavy with April's heat. His phone buzzed, but the screen was blank. A faint static hissed from the speaker, unprompted. He tapped it, frowning, then tossed it aside. Outside, the wind howled, carrying a whisper that sounded almost like his name. He shook it off. Superstition, nothing more. By Wednesday, Jeremiah's plan consumed him. He'd scouted the Etoro roundabout twice, noting the statue's position, elevated on a pedestal, the golden crown glinting under streetlights. It was heavier than he'd expected, but a hacksaw and crowbar would do the job. Razor had confirmed the buyer, some eccentric collector obsessed with African artifacts. "Get me that crown by Sunday, and you're set for life," Razor texted. Jeremiah's pulse raced at the thought. But the town was restless. At the market, Traders whispered of strange signs, birds avoiding the roundabout, a palm wine tapper claiming he'd heard voices near the statue. On X, a post from @Agemo Vibes went viral, something's off at a Toro roundabout. Anyone else feel it? #Agemo watching. Comments speculated about a curse, with one user claiming their phone glitched when they photographed the statue. Tone and Shade weren't giving up. They cornered Jeremiah at his room Thursday morning, their faces grim. "You're playing with fire," Shade said, her voice tight. "I talked to Baba Ige. He did a divination," said Agemo's angry, "Someone's about to cross a line." Jeremiah smirked, packing his tools into a bag. "Baba Ige's just scaring you to keep his shrine relevant. That statue's man-made, Shade. Gold hammered by some sculptor 21 years ago. No spirits, no curses. Just money waiting for me." Ton grabbed his arm. "You're not listening. Last night, I passed the roundabout. The air felt wrong. Like something was watching. I'm begging you, Jeremiah. Don't do this." Jeremiah yanked free. "You're both cowards. I'm not staying poor because of your fairy tales." That evening, he visited the roundabout again, tools hidden in a sack. The statue loomed, its carved eyes seeming to follow him. A chill ran down his spine, but he shook it off. As he turned to leave, his phone buzzed violently, the screen flashing. A voice, low, guttural, crackled through, "Wrong number." He dropped the phone, heart pounding. The screen was dark, the call log empty. A prank, he told himself. Or a glitch. But the dreams came that night. A figure with eyes like burning coals stood in a grove, whispering, "You called." Jeremiah woke sweating, his ears ringing with static. He checked his phone, nothing. Yet, the air in his room felt heavy, as if something lingered just beyond sight. Friday night, April 12th, was moonless, the roundabout deserted save for the hum of distant okkodas. Jeremiah moved like a shadow, his bag slung over his shoulder. The statue stood silent, its golden crown a beacon in the dark. His heart hammered, but greed drowned out fear. "Man-made," he muttered, climbing the pedestal. "Just gold." He set to work, the hacksaw biting into the crown's base. The metal was stubborn, but he was relentless. Sweat dripped into his eyes as he sawed, the night unnaturally still. No crickets, no wind, only silence, thick and oppressive. His phone, tucked in his pocket, vibrated. He ignored it. It vibrated again, harder, until a voice hissed through, unbidden, "You've reached the wrong number." Jeremiah froze, the hacksaw slipping. The voice was no glitch, it was here, in the air, in his bones. "Who's there?" he whispered, spinning around. Shadows danced at the roundabout's edge, but no one was there. His phone screen lit up, showing a call from an unknown number, 00000000000. He tapped the decline button, but the voice persisted, "Satan's not here." "But I am." Panic surged, but the crown was loose. One final cut, and it fell into his hands, heavy and warm. He stuffed it into his bag, but the air turned cold, the shadows coiling like smoke. A figure flickered at the statue's base, tall, eyeless, its form shifting like static. "You called," it said, and the world tilted. Jeremiah stumbled, his ears ringing with a deafening hum. He ran, the bag clutched tight, but the roundabout seemed to stretch, the road looping endlessly. Voices whispered now, a chorus of accusations: thief, fool, deaf. He collapsed at dawn, the crown beside him, as locals descended, their shouts a muffled roar in his silenced ears. The police arrived swiftly, led by Inspector Omolola Odutola. The crowd was a tinderbox, worshippers chanting, youths demanding justice. Odutola's voice cut through, "No violence. The suspect is in custody," the crown recovered. Jeremiah, now deaf and glassy-eyed, was hauled to Oberlin police station. His bag held the crown, pristine but heavy with an unnatural warmth. Odutola's statement was clinical. Jeremiah Nwoke, 29, attempted to steal a cultural artifact. He is under medical evaluation for possible mental instability. But the town wasn't appeased. Baba Ige, summoned to the station, stared at Jeremiah and muttered, "Agemos marked him. Deafness is just the start." On X, the incident trended, #Agemorat, #Ajibukas. A grainy video of Jeremiah's arrest circulated, his vacant stare fueling speculation. "He called the wrong number," one post read, cryptic but chilling. Torn and Shade visited the station, guilt heavy in their eyes. "We tried," Shade whispered. He wouldn't listen. Jeremiah's phone, logged as evidence, sat in a locked drawer. At night, officers swore it hummed, a faint voice whispering, "Wrong number." Baba Ige's rituals at the shrine continued, but Agemo's silence lingered, a warning that the line was still open. Ajibu Ode rebuilt the statue, the crown restored. Yet, the roundabout felt altered, the air heavier. Jeremiah, now in a Lagos asylum, scrawled "wrong number" on every surface, his eyes searching for something no one else could see. The gods had struck, deafening him to the world. And in the grove, where the Agemo shrine stood, a whisper lingered, "Some calls, once made, cannot be undone."